Hi everybody, it is Sam again from the G/Slack STEM team. STEM of course standing for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. We've got another STEM activity video for you guys this week. Today's video will be about the science of pH and some colorful chemistry. So first things first, some supplies that you are going to need are some household chemicals. Make sure you ask your parents' permission and have their supervision while you do this because some chemicals can be dangerous. And the other thing you are going to need is this stuff we have right here. This purple liquid is not grape juice, it is not cranberry juice. This is actually red cabbage juice. And in order to make it, you're going to need to get a red cabbage from the grocery store. And you're going to need to take its leaves and soak them in some hot water. That can be water that you've heated up in the microwave or with your parents' help, some boiling water. What's going to happen is this kind of purple color is going to leach out of the leaves and into that warm water, and you're going to pour that into a container like a glass or a jug. So the reason why this liquid is purple, it's kind of dark purple, is because of something called a pigment. Now, pigments in chemistry are chemicals that give things color. So you've probably heard of a couple pigments before. You might have heard of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment in plants. And actually, this purple pigment is actually from plants as well. It's called anthocyanin. And it's not just in red cabbages, it's actually in any plant that has a purple, pink, or red coloration. So these flowers I have in front of me have anthocyanin pigment in them as well. So why are we getting this pigment, this purple anthocyanin pigment? Well, because it is actually an amazing natural pH indicator. So what is pH? Well, pH is actually a scale that we use in chemistry to measure if something is an acid or a base. You've probably heard of acids before. You might have known they kind of burn your skin. But on the other side of that scale are our bases, also called the alkalines. These are often used in cleaning supplies, but they can actually be harmful to your skin as well, which is why we need our parent supervision today. So the pH scale is actually a scale that goes from 0 to 14. 7 right in the middle of that scale is considered neutral, neither acidic nor basic. From 0 to 6 are our acids, and from 8 to 14 are our bases. So the crazy thing about our cabbage juice is it will turn different colors depending on if a substance is an acid or a base. In general, it will go towards the warmer colors if it is acidic, and it will go towards the cooler colors if it is a base. So if it turns pink or even red, it is usually an acid. If it turns blue or even green, it is a base. So I actually have some household chemicals that we are going to test today. I have vinegar, clear soda, I have a antacid tablet I put in some water, some baking soda I put in water, and some window cleaning solution. All we're gonna do is use my dropper, put a couple drops of our cabbage juice in, see what color our material turns, and try to determine if it is an acid or a base. So let's start on something I know for sure is an acid. This is our vinegar. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple drops of our cabbage juice in there. And you can see we have this nice bright pink color. That is really a good indicator that this is a pretty acidic material. In fact, vinegar has a pH of about 2.5, so fairly acidic. The other thing we've got is some soda, some clear soda. Let's go ahead and test and see what this is. If you notice, this does turn sort of pinkish. It's a little more purple than pink. So that gives us a good idea that this is a weak acid. It is not quite as bright pink as our vinegar was. So that probably means it's not as strong of a acid as our vinegar. And of course, you might know that that's one of the reasons that soda is not good for your teeth, because it's slightly acidic. All right, let's try this next, actually. This is some baking soda I dissolved in water. let's go ahead and put some drops of cabbage juice in there. Nice. You can tell pretty easily that this is turned sort of a light blue. Remember we said that blue means it is a base. So our baking soda is somewhat of a weak base. Now, we've got our window cleaner. Our window cleaner is already blue. We have not added any cabbage juice in there yet, so that doesn't mean that this is a base. Let's go ahead and test and see if we can tell. Oh wow. So you can see our window cleaner turned green actually. Green does mean that this is a strong base. That kind of yellow-green means that it's pretty basic. So this is probably not something you would want on your skin. Now the last thing we are going to try is this thing that I have in the middle. I have taken a glass of water and put an antacid tablet in there. If you remember, we've actually used antacid before. Antacid tablets are made out of two materials. If you remember, it's actually baking soda and vinegar in solid form right next to each other. So we have something that's basic and something that's acidic in the same container. I wonder what that means the pH will be. Let's go ahead and test it out and see what we get. If you notice, it stays pretty well purple. Now we haven't talked about what happens if it doesn't really change color. That actually usually is a good indication that it is neutral, that it is not an acid or a base, which would make sense since this has both an acid and a base in there. Usually that neutralizes and means it's neither acidic nor basic or neutral. So if you actually see in front of you right here is actually a great pH scale. We have something that is highly acidic, that bright pink, something that is a weak acid, a little bit less pink. You have something nice and purple, which is neutral, something light blue, which is slightly basic, and we have that nice dark green, which is a good indicator that it is strongly basic. So what you should do at home if you make your own cabbage juice, go ahead and try some other liquids out and test to see if they're an acid or a base. Maybe even try your own tap water. We want our water to be mostly neutral, but sometimes because of the chemicals that are in it, it might not be pure neutral. So go ahead, make some cabbage juice and try with adult supervision some chemicals of your own. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope you learned something. Make sure that you keep posted on our Facebook page for more videos like this, and I hope you guys all keep scouting. Thanks. Bye.